Hey guys, what's up? It's Mariana. Thanks for coming back to my channel. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe down below. So I'm actually back in New York. I'm no longer abroad. After my Avengers video, I kind of didn't really post anything because something else happened that I'm going to go kind of more in depth in another video. But for now, this is going to be a happy-go-lucky video. And we're going to be talking about my favorite thing in the entire world, which is Rupaul Drag Race. If you are not familiar with the show and just the concept altogether of drag queens, there's this show run by Rupaul, one of the most famous drag queens, where he brings in drag queens to do a competition based. In a nutshell, it's like American Idol but for drag queens. Each week there's a new challenge and someone gets eliminated. This year was their 10th season, so this is a really big deal for that. And last night was their finale and it was amazing. Side note, if you hear noises behind me, that would be my sister's dog, Lola. Lola, do you want to say anything? Thank you. Anyways, I'm going to be telling you my reaction to the season 10 and kind of like my reviews about season 10. And yeah, so if you're interested, keep watching. I have my pink drink. So being back in New York, if you hear outside noises, I'm so sorry. I can't control it. Can't. I also have a bag of chips that I really want to open, but I don't want to startle the little piglet. What are you doing? Are you just licking yourself? That's really gross. So yeah, so last night was the season 10 finale. I was so upset. My mom made dinner reservations not knowing, and we were late to the game. I only started watching at 8:20ish, so I missed the first 20 minutes, which it's not that big of a deal, but because typically they just recap memories and bring back other people. So I did get to see everyone lip sync, which was obviously the most important part, and then obviously them crowning the winner. So I'm also gonna say this first: if you are a huge fan of this and you have not seen the finale yet and don't want to know who the winner is and want to see it for yourself, stop watching it. Stop watching this right now. I don't want to be caught with any spoilers. No, stop it right now. Right now. Top 4 for this season were Eureka, Aquaria, Asia O'Hara, and Cameron Michaels. And what was really interesting about this finale was that since it's been the 10th season, they kind of brought back as many people as they could from all the 10 seasons. And it was really interesting too because they had a really wonderful kind of sing together thing. I don't know how to really describe it, but basically members from the first season and members from the 10th season came together and they all sang little parts, or not technically sang, lip synced little parts of different Rupaul songs, and it was really cute. It was really fun overall for me watching this because my mom was watching it with me and she has no idea about anything Rupaul related, so that was just really fun just to see her reaction of what is this? I think first things first is let's review the outfits. So my favorite from the red carpet definitely was Aquaria. I mean, she always pulls that kind of black leathery look a lot, but she works it, so it's why not continue pulling it off, right? Next, my probably next favorite was, it probably was a close one between Asia and Cameron because I really liked Asia's kind of Asian theme in her costume, and it seemed very what's the right word? I don't want to say authentic because obviously it wasn't authentic, but it didn't seem like her taking it and appropriating it. It seemed very much like her own take on it, and obviously Asian culture is important to her since she did take the name Asia as her drag name, and it was just so glamorous, and I think it worked really well for her. I also kind of liked Cameron's sometimes, and my friend actually mentioned this while we were watching that season, is that sometimes they get kind of cosplay, very fantastical, really? Which there's nothing wrong with, that's just not my cup of tea. I don't have anything against cosplay, it's just when it comes to drag, I'm more interested in kind of the glamour of it all, which, I mean, I guess they could kind of interchange. I don't know, it's just weird. And I don't expect that from her either because she's such a muscle queen that I think it would be even girlier. I don't know. But I liked it. The pastels and the blonde looked so good on her. And then the last one was Eureka. I liked the idea of it being the character from Gone from the Wind, But then when she like had like that big like reveal and she dropped it and it was just like a skinny black kind of like mini skirt thing, I was not really digging that. I was like, are you going to an office party or are you going to RuPaul's Drag Race? Like, you need a better reveal than that. The actual finale, as I said, I didn't get to see the first 20 minutes, so I don't know what exactly happened. I came in right when, like I was saying, season 1 people and season 10 people were singing together, and I thought that was really cute. I loved that they like were bringing in people. It did make me kind of sad that clearly it was not all of season 1, like they repeated a lot of people. It made me wonder if maybe like could they just not make it, or were they not invited? Like, what was the deal with that? It also looks like I'm not wearing a top, but I'm wearing a tube top, so don't worry. I went to the lip syncs. Oh, side note, I also want to say that I'm still kind of bitter that Miss Cracker was not in the top 4, but when she did her little whole like tear and then like flicking it away, I was like, yes girl, yes, like whatever, you're still great, you're still doing so much better, who cares? First obviously was Cameron, and she picked Asia, which I think was a really good call on her part, because have we ever seen Asia lip sync? Oh yeah, we had, and Asia's like pretty good, but Cameron fucking kills it. Excuse my language, but she goes hardcore. Like, she goes so into it, and I love it. Like, I love it. Like her doing that song, the I think it's Liza, what is that her name? And it's like, I got my hair done, check my nails, and I'm feeling good. Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, that was so cringy. But when she did that one against, who was it, Monet Exchange, I mean, she fucking killed it. Like, she's so good at lip syncing. So I was interested to see that pair. And then when they were like, oh, it's gonna be Janet Jackson songs, I was like, oh my god, yes. Because like I loved from season 9 that it was all like Whitney Houston songs. Like, yes, perfect. So they got Nasty, yeah, they got Nasty, which was, I think, just so good on their part. Also at that point, they also changed costumes, and I was really feeling Cameron's because I knew that there was going to be a reveal with it, and the other ones not so much. Like Asia's like butterfly thing, Eureka's just like big purple monster looking thing, I don't know. And then also Aquarius I kind of felt a little bit more like she was similar to Cameron for me, because I knew like that they couldn't just dance in that. Like, obviously there had to be some sort of like reveal with it, and of course there was, and they were epic reveals. I mean, Eureka's was a pretty good reveal too, but anyways, I'm getting off track. Cameron literally killed it. Like, she actually, like, in a way does like what would be like a dance routine. She doesn't just like, you know, she doesn't just like float around the stage. Like, she actually does something. And then what made me kind of like feel bad for Asia, but also kind of just like a cheap blow, like upset, was the whole butterfly thing. Lip sync, she starts to like take off her bracelets and take off these like weird boob things that she had on, and I guess was releasing butterflies. And it was so funny because they panned to Blair St. Clair and who else? There was someone else, and their faces were just like what? Like, what are you trying to do? And it was so clear that she was trying to pull kind of like a Sasha Velour from season 9 of like when Sasha had like the roses come out and everyone was like, oh my god. She was trying to pull like one of those like reveal kind of moments, but it didn't work because there were like 2 butterflies like per boob wrist. And I mean, and they're butterflies, they're like this tiny, and they literally, I think one of them just like fell out. Like, they just like fell, like the butterflies didn't even fly, like nothing. And it was just so borderline like pathetic. Like, I hate to say that, but it was really bad. Like, I was like, you didn't sell me. You didn't sell me. Obviously when she didn't like go through, I was like, obviously. But you know what, I was happy too, because like Cameron I feel like odd towards, because I really do like her. She's not 100% my favorite, but she definitely has like that underdog spirit, and I really like that about her. Like, sometimes I feel like in these drag shows, like they feel like they need to be like so like, okay, like all the time, and you don't have to, like you really don't. Like that's what like I actually don't like about Laganja. Like she does that all the time, and she claims that's who she is, but is that really who you are? Like I liked Cameron because she was genuinely herself. Like she was like, I know I'm a shy person, I know I'm a quiet person, but I'm not gonna be extra flamboyant and like out there just to win people's hearts, because that's not who I am. And I'm like, good for you, girl, good for you. Happy that she like at least got to the final lip sync. You know? Oh, these chips are so good. Oh my god. This is like my only meal today. Did they do the other 2 lip syncs first? I don't know if they did the Eureka versus... No, yeah, they did. They did Eureka versus Aquaria next. And they did If by Janet Jackson, which is a good Janet Jackson song. It's not my favorite. I obviously prefer Nasty way better. But it's still a pretty good one. I think harder to lip sync. But that was good, I think, for both of them, because they were both really, really strong lip syncers. So I think the harder the song, the better, because then it really shows like who can handle it. And in that case, so for them, they both had pretty big reveals. I kind of like okay, it's hard for me to say because I am not a huge Eureka fan. I mean, she definitely, granted, grew on me over this season because I did not like her in season 9. And I definitely did like her a lot more once the Vixen left, because I definitely will give her the credit that I think the Vixen was like purposely handing her something for her then to poke the bear, aka piss off the Vixen. So once the Vixen was gone, I did have a little bit more appreciation for her and was like, you know what, good for you, you are kind of like getting far. But honestly, her reveal, pulling the wig off, and then, I mean, she did have like a double costume reveal, which was pretty cool, but it almost seemed like predictable costume changes, like the whole, you know, it going to then another one and then revealing to another one, and it was all like the same material, kind of just like different colors. Like I liked with Aquaria's, it was genuinely like different, like a whole different look compared to what she had, and it was almost like, I mean, based off the outfit, it almost looked like an alien dinosaur thing, kind of like emerging, like coming to life, which I thought was so cool. And like using like the millennial pastel pink, I was like everything about it was so good. And then when she like revealed the little like tabs and like her costume had like little nipples, I was like, oh my god, like yes, like it was so good. And I also I mean, have we seen Aquaria lip sync? I don't think we have. I have to fact check that, but I'm not sure if we have. I think we really have. And like she was so good, like she put so much effort into it. And I feel like, I don't know, and her and Cameron are kind of the same, where I like them because their dancing is very unique. It's not the stereotypical, you know, drop split, death drop kind of thing. Like I feel like with Eureka, she just kept doing like her high kicks and then her splits, and then a high kick and then her splits. And it's like, we get it, that's obviously fantastic and incredible that you can do that, but that's also kind of predictable at this point. Like it's season 10, like change it up a bit. Like I really thought that Aquaria and Cameron's like dancing was like to a whole different level, which is why they deserve to both be in the final. So then the big surprise of it all was that RuPaul actually sent Eureka and Aquaria through. I was excited because I was like, this has never happened before, and this is like drag race like history, so like yas, like all for that. But at the same time, I was kind of bitter, where I was like, I feel bad for Cameron because now she has to deal with 2 people, not just one. And I really don't think, I don't know, I mean, yes, was it a really close call? Yes. But I still think Aquaria did better. I'm sorry, I'm just so team Aquaria. And it's funny because I used to like not like really Aquaria in the beginning. Like she was kind of giving off that vibe of like, oh, like I'm too good. But then when you began to like, I feel at least watch her through the season, you realize like she is that good. Like she deserves to be kind of like cocky because she is that good. Like it's insane. And to also think that she's only 22 I'm like, what am I doing wrong with my life? Someone tell me please, thank you. Now this is the part that I was a little bitter about. They did the Miss Congeniality, which is still a big deal. I mean, obviously it's not as big as a deal as winning. Winning is way more important. Not important, more just prominent. But I mean, you still get money from being Miss Congeniality, I'm almost positive. And you get that title of saying that you were Miss Congeniality, which is, like, it's still a really big deal. I mean, again, not clearly as big as being, like, the winner, but still, it's a pretty big fucking deal. And, like, last year, it was Valentina. So worth it. So worth it. The year before, it was, like Cynthia. Like, cuckoo. Like, of course she would win Miss Congeniality. Like, of course. Like, those were, like, obvious. So this year, I personally think that Blair St. Clair should have won it, but they gave it to Monet X Change, and I like Monet. I really, really did like Monet, but I don't know if she was really worth it, because Monet was also the type of person where, like, she did have that one moment in one of her lip syncs where she did like the whole like, oh, I'm gonna death drop, and then oh, I did it, and like everyone was like freaking out. So yeah, that's like a pretty memorable moment. And she did have the sponge thing too. But I think for me with Miss Congeniality, it has to be someone that always had like pristine top looks and just really was Miss Congeniality, like is defined as is like the prettiest, like the one that everyone loves and the one that had like great looks like all the time. And I just feel like, I don't know if that was 110% her. I don't know. I mean, do I think Blair St. Clair should have gotten it? I wish she had, but I don't know if she actually deserved it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like my emotions are getting in the way of like if she would have actually like deserved to win it. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, Monet won, and I mean, you could tell too, like, she was shocked too. Like, I don't think she thought she was gonna win. But I mean, in the end, good for her. Her and her sponges. Anyways, if you're still watching it to this point, comment down below who you think Miss Congeniality should have been. Come at me with that, thank you. Okay, so now we go to the last and final song. And first thing I have to say is, song choice, really? Listen, I'm like the biggest Ariana Grande fan, but the fact that they picked Bang Bang, I mean, it worked in some girls' like cases, like it helped them based on their outfit and their performance, but like ultimately that was never ever a thought of like a season finale lip sync, like final lip sync that, like no, like I would again gone for like another Janet Jackson, another Whitney Houston, or something just more like prominent in like Pride. Like what? Like I don't think of Bang Bang as like known as like a song in the LGBT community and being a huge Pride song. I mean, listen, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, because I'm not obviously as engulfed in it, but like that was just not my top choice. In the end, it ended up being like a good performance in the sense that like Aquaria effing killed it. I mean, she brought out like the gun, like the little, not like the actual gun, but the little poppers, and they were like going off for Bang Bang. Her dancing was on point. Cameron was pretty good too. Her costume reveal was kind of and I don't think it was like really the right timing with it. Like the whole kind of like taking off the waist and like spinning again is like a kind of predictable thing. Like literally Eureka did it the song before. Like it just kind of seems a little unoriginal. You know, like that's what makes performances like Sasha Velour's so good, was because her reveal of her roses or when her mask came off, like those were more prominent reveals that are like authentic and like new and so like, oh my god. I mean, like I literally still watch her So Emotional one versus Shea Coulee, and I still get chills through my body when she like takes the wig off and is like, ah, with the roses. Like, it's just so epic. There was Eureka with the whole like fat girl wins. Like, it said like something fat girl, and then she pulls it off and it says wins. I'm sorry, I just was not entertaining. Like, that's not, again, like a reveal that is like, oh my god, like that was just like, I think it was great that she's like promoting having all different body types in drag, especially for, because I don't know, I have to review back on my Drag Race history. I can't believe I just said that. That could have been the gayest thing I just said. But I don't know in the finale if we've ever had like a large queen like that. Like a more plus size queen. I don't know. I have to genuinely look back. Because I mean, that's great that she is. Like, it's important that there's diversity and there's, you know, all different body types. But I was just like if you wanted to do that, I definitely think 100% she could have done it in a way more creative way. Like, I think it was this kind of last minute, like, oh, here's my costume. Oh yeah, let's stick this just on my abdomen and then I'll rip it off. Cool, cool. Like, that's, like, it almost makes it seem like you didn't really put in a lot of effort for that. So, and Aquaria won. I was so happy. So coming from like halfway through the season. Like, I fully, like, after Blair St. Clair got voted off, I was like, all right, my fan favorite voted off, whatever. And I kept watching it and watching it, and honestly, I was pretty much halfway through, like I said, I knew Aquaria was gonna win. I mean, her looks are always on point. Even when they were like slightly off, they were still just so artistically like amazing. Her makeup's always on point. Yeah, she's not the greatest like live singer, but who gives a shit? Like, she can still lip sync and she can still dance, and the fact that she's doing it all at 22 is insane. Is absolutely insane. So like, I knew pretty close on that she was gonna win, and I'm happy she won. It's so well deserved. I still do wish Ms. Cracker was in the top 4, but whatever. I want to say, as like the last thing I think for reviewing like the actual finale, is that of all the other queens, outfit regarding wise, the only one that I really, really liked, I think, was Mayhem. Like, Mayhem Miller's, that teal looked just so good against her complexion with the hair and the way it was cut. I mean, you know it's good when like my mom, who is not a RuPaul watcher, literally stated, who's that queen? And I go, oh, that's Mayhem Miller. And she's like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. How does she make herself get like cleavage like that? Like, it's not so out there, but it's like the right amount of perkiness. And I was like, oh my god, I can't believe my mom is actually saying this right now. So credits to Mayhem, you caught my mom's attention. So that's the end of this video. I really hope you liked this. I think I'm going to be doing more reaction related things, because obviously there's a good response with the Avengers one, and maybe there'll be a good response with this one, so I'll definitely be doing more of that. More videos to come too. I'm sorry about that little slump that I had. I am back. I promise. I don't know if I'll post every week, but definitely no more like month to 2 month gaps. That will not happen. And yeah, if you like this video or you want to see more of my videos, go to my channel, subscribe, watch other stuff. I promise it's gonna be well worth it. And thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, as I said. Yes. And watch RuPaul Drag Race. It's so good. It's so good. Okay.